curious, want to explore it, nothing too serious. Forget the world for a minute, before we know it, the future's the past. Seize the moment while we're in it, hold on to each other as long as it lasts. I don't care about forever, 'cause sometimes forever is over so fast. Hush, hush, baby, come on, here with me, I want for you to go. No need to worry, there is no hurry to stay, we'll take it slow.
When did you...
The 2K Sports pregame show.
NBA regular season opener for a couple of teams. Thank you all for tuning in. So happy you're here. I'm ecstatic that you're here.
I'm
really happy that Kenny and Shaq are here too.
I miss you too, Ernie.
Thank you. Me too. Tonight we'll see the Oklahoma City Thunder playing against the Suns out in Phoenix. Well, for the Suns, they split the season series against these guys last season, 2 games apiece. Should be a good one tonight. And fellas, a new season about to begin. Clean slate. Plenty of hopes and dreams out there. Kenny, how do you spot a new legitimate contender?
I usually look for the team with good balance, where one guy isn't doing everything. One guy can facilitate everything, but he can't do everything. So offense, defense, balance, and they got to have a big shot maker.
You know, I look for unselfishness, guys playing with each other, mental toughness. No weak-minded team has ever won a championship, Ernie.
How about continuity, too? How about very little changeover from a team that was really good the previous year, may not have gone as far as they wanted, but returning the same bunch?
That helps.
Yeah.
Well said.
Well
Yeah.
said. No need to add anything to that.
Continuity. Yeah. Kevin Harlan knows all about that.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Here in Phoenix, the crowd is going crazy. Welcome, everybody, to the day we've all been looking forward to. The start of a new NBA season on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Greg Anthony as well as Doris Burke. And we've got David Aldridge on the sideline. This Arizona crowd ready to roar in this Western Conference matchup for the Phoenix Suns. And as things get ready to roll, let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's on the sideline. David?
Well, guys, when Devin Booker's father finished his playing career in Europe, Devin, who was then 15, moved from Michigan to Mississippi to train with him. Devin said it was a culture shock, but it was the best decision I ever made. I was a student of the game, but I never understood the grind. He instilled that, and it stuck with me. Kevin?
And that kind of toughness is crucial to have at a young age. Thanks, D.A. Maybe too soon to start talking about this, Doris, but we see some young teams getting blown out. Clearly they're in rebuild mode. At what point do you start to focus on player development versus winning games?
You know, this is such a tough organizational issue because you have to balance the priority of giving your young talent an opportunity to get the repetition necessary in a playing environment in a competitive situation versus we owe a commitment to our fans to win and win at a high level because they're paying the ticket prices and ultimately, you know, playing a part in our success. So I think some of this has to be, where are we at the midway point? Are we legitimately in playoff contention, or is it time to now focus on our player development? This is an organizational decision that has to happen organically over 82 games.
And you know what losing does to a culture? It can disintegrate a culture.
No, it's a great point. You do not want young players to get comfortable with losing. You are so right about that, Kevin.
All right, let's set the floor. Courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. So for Oklahoma City right now, Westbrook and Robertson are the backcourt pair. Anthony out there with Paul George. And it's Adams in at the center position. And it's Paul George with the foul. That's his first foul. Here's Bledsoe. They double-team Bledsoe. Here's Warren. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
And when you see T.J. Warren on the court, I just love his activity. I mean, he's always cutting and moving without the basketball. Very adept at finding those openings on the floor.
And you can tell that miss at the line might stick with him for a while. Always hurts to miss a chance to take the lead.
And it's the Suns with the ball. Bledsoe kicks to Chris. Jackson from long range. Buries the long-range jumper. And Warren last season had his year interrupted by injury, cooled off after the fast start. But, Greg, he will always play with that activity.
Yeah, and he's so good at switching directions on a defender. Seemingly simple moves help him create great space both with and without the ball.
Out of bounds, it'll go to the Suns. First quarter, about a minute and a half in. On the wing, Booker, off the pick. And too long on the shot.
Yeah, blown opportunity after the two-man game creates a terrific look.
Well, he simply misfired. You've got to capitalize when the screen opens up wide open shots like that.
Now flying high and throwing it down with the one-hander.
One of his favorite moves right there, guys. Hey, Greg, when you watch Josh Jackson play, it's easy to see that he can eventually be one of the best defenders in the league if he works at it.
The blocks and steals, I think, will always be there for Jackson with that length. As he progresses as a player, though, he should improve in the little things. It reminds you a bit of a young Andre Iguodala at times with how explosive he can be athletically.
Well, the size and the frame of Steven Adams is flat out intimidating. A high percentage score. Stop it! How about 6'10" with a 38-inch vertical? You do the math. That's a heck of a play by Marquise Chris.
And the highlight reel replay brought to you by Under Armour. Another Unleash Chaos moment. Excellent work by the talented people in our production truck as well. And a great assist by Bledsoe as that one goes in. Bledsoe's got 3 assists now in this one. Yes, that goes in.
Man, have they been effective at getting the ball inside.
Phoenix has gone 2 of 2 from three-point range here in the first quarter. And the foul on Carmelo Anthony. That's his first foul.
And still early in the period, and they're only 1 foul away from being over the limit.
First quarter of basketball, just over 2.5 minutes play. It's stolen by Adams.
The D feels like it's everywhere, and that pass should not have been made.
And finished off by Westbrook.
Defender in his grill, and Russell says, "Let me shake you off, sir. I've got to score this."
The Suns trailer.
And being over the limit this early really can affect your aggressiveness defensively. They have got to play under control.
I'll tell you, the freak athleticism of Eric Bledsoe is eye-popping. He has unbelievable burst in the open floor that can make even elite guards look like they're standing still.
And how about the excellent court vision, just keeping the defense off balance?
I'll tell you, Greg, his passing has been absolutely outstanding. He is threading the needle right now.
Here's Westbrook, and finished off by Westbrook.
Oh, nice defense there by Anthony, creating the transition opportunity. Terrific heads-up play.
First quarter of action, just under 3.5 minutes played. And for Bledsoe, the athleticism goes beyond his open floor speed. Doris also a fantastic rebounder, as you know, for a guard, even though his height is doing him no favors.
Well, he entered the league, obviously, Eric Bledsoe, as an elite-level athlete. And the longer you play, the more you understand how to take advantage of that. And obviously, once you become a starter, you can expect your productivity to increase.
To the inside. Looking for Chris. He gets it there. For 3, Booker. It's hauled in by Adams. The Thunder leading by 4. And Anthony gets it to go on the assist by George. George has got 3 assists tonight.
Nice pass there to set that basket up.
The Suns have gone 5 of 8 from the field, shooting over 62%. And Jackson gets it to go.
I think everyone expecting Bledsoe to perhaps force the issue, but he keeps his poise and finds the open man.
And Jackson with the block. Now, here's Warren. The shot, no good. George with the defensive effort. Here's Adams. George dishes to Carmelo. Some solid defense there from Jackson.
Those are chances almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but the D just enough to keep him out of rhythm.
Well, I'll tell you, it hasn't been his best quarter, but we know he won't get discouraged. This guy will keep grinding.
Leaving the rest of the field in the dust.
Boy, what great speed he's got, Greg. Just phenomenal work getting all the way to the cup in transition.
And it's out of bounds. They say last touch by Bledsoe.
And that's just carelessness there. I mean, you have got to have your head in the game.
Tyson Chandler, who's checked in for the Suns. Tyler Ulis comes in for Eric Bledsoe. And Oklahoma City with a change here, too. Patterson, he's checked in for Anthony. Booker outside. There's Ulis. Poked away. Clock at 6. Takes a 3. The shot missing. So the Thunder will take it the other way. Roberson the pass to Adams. Chandler with the defensive effort. Looking at the Suns, they want to turn it around after the loss to the Jazz in Utah. Here's Booker. The baseline jumper goes down. Booker's got 5.
Very rare for a guy to enter the league with such a polished mid-range shot. Booker, so impressive.
And nobody, guys, among the defenders stepping up to challenge him on that drive to the 10.
And Greg, he says, thank you very much, and sails in for the flush.
Yeah, they may have gotten the feeling he would dish it off, but he had a surprise for them.
Warren, good. Greg, you watch the Thunder play, and it's clear that this team comes out looking to attack. Everyone on the team wants to put it on the floor and go right at the rim.
And part of that is their leader, Westbrook, just setting the tone. I mean, team finished near the top in points in the paint last season, and the addition of Paul George just helps to enforce that strength.
Jackson has the open look, and it's all evened up. He's got 10.
And you can see now Jackson starting to shoot that shot with ease. A lot of confidence now flowing through the young fella. Well, when Paul George announced this summer that he intended to leave for the Lakers when the contract ran out, you knew what was coming. Even as a rental possibility, the suitors lined up, and eventually the price was paid, and now George finds himself in a Thunder uniform.
Here's what Phoenix has got going on right now. Lenz checked in for Jackson. Dudley comes in for Warren. And it's Brandon Knight in for Devin Booker. Well, they're really making a point of keeping the ball moving around.
That's the key. The D can't focus on one player, and no matter what anybody tells you, that ball will always move quicker than the defender.
The Thunder shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the night. And to many, the Thunder came out of nowhere to land George in that trade.
You know, most thought Cleveland or maybe Boston were the front runners for his services, but the Thunder snuck in and made their team a 2-star squad once again. Very interesting to see how far the duo of Westbrook and George can go.
Well, the length of Paul George creating opportunities for his team. He covers an awful lot of ground with that wingspan.
Phoenix has gone 4-7 from three-point range so far in the first. And Len has it in the corner. There's the double team with Grant. Knight on the wing. Nice ball movement by Phoenix. Here's Chris Dunn. Shot clock reset for Oklahoma City. Grant. And a little luck that time, but it drops.
Not a lot of resistance on the inside, and they're taking full advantage.
Ulis kicks to Knight. There's the double team with Grant. Len with it, guarded now by Patrick Patterson. Here's Chandler, and the layup's good off the glass.
Listen, percentage-wise, Chandler has forever been one of the best at finishing around the rim.
And really, these are some of the toughest calls an official has to make.
And Paul George, the 10th overall pick in 2010 out of Fresno State. I'm not sure anyone realized, Doris, he'd be this good when he first got into the league.
No, you make a great point, Kev, because the physical tools were there, but his work ethic to keep adding layers to his game has been truly a thing to watch. This guy's got a chance to win league MVP before it's all said and done.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agendas.
And make no mistake, Paul George is a fierce finisher inside.
To the left wing. Outside Knight. With 2 seconds left. Not going to go that time. Paul George, he's been the guy making things happen for Oklahoma City. He got into double digits for the quarter with 10 points total. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And Tyson Chandler, known for being a great teammate, a very vocal leader certainly, he talked about how important that is for an NBA locker room.
Players do the policing. Coach sets a standard, but players individually call out other players, whether it be timeout, whether it be halftime, whether it be pulling guys to the side, in practice. When you have that going on, you see multiple guys doing that, that's when you know you have a good team.
Don't you need a player like this of Chandler's caliber and character, Greg, to make that kind of a teamwork? Have that feel in the locker room, that leadership role that everybody believes in and respects.
No doubt about it, Kevin. And that weighty stature is built on experience and credentials, as you mentioned, like having that championship ring or being an all-star. But when you have it and use it that way, the coach doesn't have to worry about the locker room because Chandler has got that covered.
And now the second quarter just getting set to start. What stands out to you from Oklahoma City in this one?
I love the fact that they're getting so many of their points at the rim. Just a solid first period.
Well, Greg, playing bully basketball on the block. Every opportunity they've wanted at the rack, they've got it.
On the floor for Oklahoma City, getting going here in the second quarter. On the wings, Abrinas and George. Patrick Patterson is out there with Grant. And it's Kristen in at the one spot. And Oklahoma City making a change here. Anthony's checked in. And we're starting the second quarter, about a minute gone. Chandler is screen. And that's out of bounds. Phoenix will retain possession. And a look now at the breakdown between three-point and two-point shots attempted here tonight for the Suns.
Liking the effectiveness they've shown here from three-point land. And I say, hey, shoot it more. They've been successful with a high field goal percentage, and we'll see if that continues to be a part of their arsenal.
Shot clock at 6. Ulis kicks to Knight. Jumper off the screen, and he connects with the jumper. Knight's got his first 2 points of the night.
Boy, if Knight starts...
Oh,
my God.
That's how you attack. Wow.
How'd he do that? Well, Jeremy Grant doing work at the rim. Don't give him any space, boy. This guy can get up.
And now approaching 2 minutes of action here in the second quarter. Knight wide open, drills the three-pointer. Knight's got 5 points in the quarter.
I tell you, there are players who can get thrown off when they're that wide open, but this guy keeps his cool and doesn't rush it.
That's the 10th straight point they've given up in the paint.
Suns trail by 5. He dishes it to Ulis. Plenty of space. The shot by Knight, no good. Grant kicks to Abrinas. Overnight. Here's Anthony. It falls for his 5th field goal of the night. Now shooting 5 for 8.
You know, and even when the play isn't for him, Anthony able to get on the glass and on the scoreboard.
And the foul on Carmelo Anthony. That's foul number 2 for him. Doris, so much offense is perimeter generated right now. What, if anything, could get us back to running more plays, say, through the post?
Do you think we could reinvent Hakeem Olajuwon or perhaps Patrick Ewing or
I
Bill
wish we
Russell?
could. I wish we could.
Because I know this.
Good point.
Every time I walk by a pickup game on the outside, you see guys sprinting to the three-point line and looking to be Steph Curry.
I know. Chris can't hit. And now the fast break. Grant with the ball. That pushes it to double digits. And now it's an 11-point Thunder lead.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
And first time out of the game called for Phoenix.
Well, last season, obviously, the Suns falling well short of where they wanted to be, ended up in the last spot of the Western Conference. Listen, they knew it was going to be a rebuild, and they are well into it at this point.
Jackson, he's checked in for Alex Len. And then for Oklahoma City, Roberson comes in for Jeremy Grant. And it's Russell Westbrook in for Chris Dunn. Suns trail by 11. And for the Suns, they're fully committed to a rebuild, Doris. They have some exciting young talent on this team.
Right, and Kev, it will take some time before the Suns are a force in the West again, but the foundation is certainly there. This is an organization in a decent spot with their cap flexibility. The core of the team are all on rookie contracts and have room and time to grow together.
Chris passed to Bledsoe. They set the pick. Poke loose. Stolen by Westbrook. To the paint. Here's Patterson. That one misses. Excellent D there from Bledsoe. The Suns have gone 3 of 7 shooting the ball here in the second quarter. And stolen by Patterson. And again, Oklahoma City running the court in transition. And he gets it to go as they call the foul. He's on his way to the line for one more.
And getting out in transition has been a big part of this run that they're on.
The Thunder shooting their 7th free throw attempt here.
And a season ago, they hit about 75% of their free throws.
Some changes for Phoenix. T.J. Warren, he's checked in for Dudley. And it's Booker in for Brandon Knight. And you can see the talent that the Suns have, but, Doris, something they'll need to work on is a lack of discipline.
Agreed, Kevin, and that lack of discipline can manifest itself in a couple of areas. Number one, they fouled too much. They were last in the league in that category. And how about this for a bad combination? One, they don't generate a lot of assists. And two, they were the worst in the league when it came to turnovers. Hard to win when all that's going on.
Suns trail by 16. Warren on the wing. He has 5. That one goes. Count it. Jackson's got 12 in the game.
I tell you, at 6'8", Jackson is a more than capable scorer on the inside. Great at getting close to the rim and just finishing with the soft touch.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
And it's Chris in the corner. Bledsoe outside. Fires from deep. And it's Marquise Chris with the foul. That's his first foul. Oklahoma City leading by 16. Westbrook with it. Eric Bledsoe covering. Over Bledsoe. Left side Westbrook. And finally drops after rolling around the rim. He's got 10.
And that set them apart today, guys. Their success with the mid-range. Knocked away. Stolen by Westbrook.
lays it up off the glass. And the Thunder lead by 20.
And at the offensive end, he's done about as much as they could have hoped for today.
Bledsoe against Westbrook. Poked away. Bledsoe kicks to Jackson. Good, and Bledsoe gets the assist. And that's 15 points for Josh Jackson.
And let's see, guys, if that triggers another little explosion from him after hitting 3 triples in that first quarter.
Bucket is good.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
Phoenix has gone 2 of 4 from three-point range so far in the second quarter. And the wide-open shot from Bledsoe. Here's Jackson, and he got the whistle, so he'll have a three-point play opportunity.
Boy, the score would look a lot different if his teammates could have had the kind of night he's had.
Adams, he's checked in for Patrick Patterson. The Suns have shot 67% from the line tonight, going 4-6.
Yeah, a year ago, though, Kevin, 78% conversion rate from the free throw line, so that's a nice all-around effort.
And the Suns call time. This is the first they're seeing of Oklahoma City here. First game of the NBA's regular season for them.
Yeah, and a 4-game season series between these two. Both will be looking to set the tone tonight.
We know whichever team makes the best adjustments on the fly will have the best chance of emerging victorious in this first meeting.
Well, you could feel the clock ticking for Melo's time in New York, and this offseason, it finally ended, Greg.
Yeah, and for a team like this to add Melo to the mix, what a blessing. I mean, Melo still has a ton of offense to offer, and hard to add a player so skilled as Melo for practically nothing.
George is checked in for Oklahoma City. Let's take this chance to see which of last season's teams had the most second chance points in the league. 4th, the Suns. 5th on the list, the Thunder.
So many second chance opportunities for both of these clubs a season ago, and they really took advantage.
It's stolen by Adams. A baseline J. It's hauled in by Warren. Suns trail by 18. That's tipped. And here we go with Westbrook heading to the hoop. And finished off by Westbrook.
The absolute ferocity from Russell Westbrook. The rim. My goodness, how you feeling?
And it's the Suns with the ball. And here we go with Westbrook running it up the court. Oh!
Yes.
Goodness. Oh, he's putting on a show for these fans.
I can't believe he pulled that one out in the course of an actual game. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Westbrook. And now a chance to take a look at the shot chart for the Thunder.
Well, they say the mid-range game is a dying art form, but after looking at this shot chart, they are injecting a ton of life into it. Whatever space is being offered up to them in the mid-range, they have accepted and have continually knocked down shots to make the defense pay.
Here is Bledsoe. It's stolen by Adams, and they're pushing it up. That's a good shot, and now he's 3 for 7.
Well, that's 3 of their last 5 baskets in transition.
Phoenix has gone 6 of 11 when they've taken the three-point shot tonight. Very respectable. And there's the foul. It's on Steven Adams. That is his first foul of the game. Some changes for Phoenix. Chandler comes in for Marquise Chris. And Eula subbed in for Eric Bledsoe. Now, here's Ulis. He's covered by Westbrook. Just 5 on the clock. Chandler's shot, good.
And Kevin, they started the game shooting it so well. I'm surprised they haven't continued. They've got to get back to their strength.
Tips it up, and Westbrook is right there. Westbrook's got 20.
And now you see them starting to really work the ball inside.
1:14 left to play here in the second quarter. Ulis dishes to Chandler. Back to Ulis. Chandler, Booker with no one around, and that comes off the assist by Ulis. 8 points for Devin Booker.
They're getting a lot of their points outside the paint. 3 of their last 5 baskets are from three-point range.
Assisted by Paul George.
So it's Phoenix now. Ulis with it. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. There's the double team with Westbrook. Booker in the corner. Taken away by Anthony. George against Warren. Bucket is good. George has got 12 points in the game.
Another turnover there leading to a basket.
On the wing, Jackson. No good from outside. Oklahoma City dictating the flow. Nobody near George. And he's good on the 3-ball. 15 points in the game.
Boy, you cannot let Paul George get going from there. As a solid and outside scorer, measuring that shot well.
There's Jackson with the 3. Jackson missing again. Here's Westbrook. No good with the layup. And it's good, but hold on. The officials may want to look at that one on the replay monitor. And the teams are going to have to wait before heading to the locker room. They're going to bring out the monitor and see if he got that shot off in time.
And to me, guys, it looks pretty clear-cut on the instant replay. I mean, the ball was out of his hands in time. I think they'll confirm this one pretty quickly.
Well, they're going to switch the call. There is no doubt, and looking at the replay, that he got it off in time.
Well, it's good they decided to take another look at it. I know some folks don't like how replay slows the game down and interrupts the flow, but when you have it there, you got to use it.
So as we conclude the first half, so far fairly one-sided. Oklahoma City out in front, just dominating this one. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Kevin. Russell, how confident are you that there's nobody that can stay in front of you?
Very confident. I have a lot of confidence in myself. I put a lot of work in the summertime, and I'm very confident.
That is never a problem for you, Russ. Thanks very much. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, Dave, thank you. And time now for the halftime break with the third quarter soon to follow, right here on 2K Sports.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here with Shaq and Kenny, and a favorite time of the year as we're halfway through one of the first games of this fresh NBA season. There was no stopping Russell Westbrook in the first half. He had 20 points, 5 assists, and 4 steals. Tonight isn't an exception as looking back at his last few games, he's been stringing together some incredible performances. Kenny, let's get your take on Oklahoma City.
Westbrook, he's crushing it. No one can stop him. One of the biggest improvements in his game, shooting consistency. And then you have the intimidation factor. Rare to find in a guard who can attack the rim with such violence.
Shaq, what'd you think about Phoenix?
Well, their sloppy play really surprised me, especially the turnovers. No matter who they had out there, they never seemed to be on the same page. Their only hope is to make every possession count, and that means taking care of the ball.
And that will wrap up our halftime report, as it's just about time for the start of the second half.
Welcome back, everyone. The skyline of downtown Phoenix there, framed against the mountains, rising up out of the desert. Welcome back, everybody. Third quarter just about to get going here in what has been so far a runaway game. Well, you look at Russell Westbrook in this game, he has been everywhere.
Yeah, so far they haven't found an answer for him, a scoring machine here in that first half.
And it's mattered not, Greg, whether he's been spotting up or creating for himself. He was unstoppable, and you hope it carries over to the second half.
Well, it's been a one-sided affair so far through the first 2 quarters, but there's plenty of time to mount a comeback. Phoenix has gotten a positive outcome on 7 of their 14 three-pointers in this game. Not bad at all. You look at the success that Coach Billy Donovan has had both at the college level at Florida and his first few years in the NBA at Oklahoma City. Doris, he very much feels at home in playoff and pressure situations.
Well, certainly Billy D has a lot of experience managing a team in a postseason setting. This is a guy who always tinkers during the regular season to find different angles to help his guys. Billy Donovan, one of those guys increasingly who you don't want to see in a 7-game series.
Booker and Warren on the perimeter. Jackson is out there with Chris, and it's Bledsoe in at the point guard position. So that's who Earl Watson starts the second half with. He was all alone on that one. 21 points for Josh Jackson.
And Jackson scores in so many different ways, puts tremendous pressure on the defense. He's got those guys guessing out there.
And Booker kicks to Warren. They grab their own miss, and it's sent back by George.
Tough start to the second half, just 1 for 5. Wow.
Wasted no time on that one. 22 points for Russell Westbrook.
Well, the concentration of Westbrook, right? The defense is in his grill, and he's sinking tough jumpers.
Knocked loose. Stolen by Westbrook. Some nice passing by Oklahoma City here. And he makes that one. Adams has got 8 points.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
You know, for a shoot-first guy early in his career, Booker's been tremendous finding the open man.
And Adams with the slam.
How good is that pass? Certainly makes the offensive opportunity easy.
Westbrook against Bledsoe. And Booker kicks to Jackson. And here we go with Anthony running it up the court. The shot's good from Westbrook. Westbrook's got 24 points.
Everything going to plan here to start the third. 80% shooting thus far.
To the inside, tipped away. It's stolen by Adams. One-on-one here. Westbrook can't get it to go. Here's Booker, and Adams sends it back.
And the defense of Steven Adams is so important to this team. They depend on him to be a rim protector now.
Moving it around, 8 of their last 10 coming off assists.
You know, you see Russell Westbrook now, and you just assume he's going to put up a triple-double. I don't think we thought we'd ever see somebody average that for an entire season. But what an incredible accomplishment last year, and turned the NBA upside down with that feat.
Here's what Phoenix has got going on right now. Alex Lenz checked in for Jackson.
One shot.
Dudley comes in for T.J. Warren, and Knight subbed in for Devin Booker. The free throw drops for Russell Westbrook. And Westbrook with an incredible year in the triple-double average. He also broke Oscar Robertson's record for most triple-doubles in a single season. Doris, wonderful ceremony with the two of them on the last day of last season.
What's incredible to me is Westbrook is already 4th on the all-time triple-double list. Think about it. He's in his prime, and he could pass names like the Big O, Magic Johnson, and Jason Kidd. This is truly extraordinary.
Bledsoe with it. Westbrook picks him up. Kicks it to Dudley. Chris pass to Knight. There's a screen by Chris. The feed to Dudley. Yes, and Knight with the assist that time. Dudley's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. George, that's a 2-pointer. Chris with the rebound. Chris has got his 4th rebound in this one. They double-team Bledsoe. Third quarter action, and just under 3.5 minutes have gone. 2 open that time, made it look too easy. Dudley's got 6 points.
They've given up a lot of three-pointers here today.
And the shot is good.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
Bledsoe outside. Passes to Chris. And he drops in the layup off the glass. 10 points for him.
Well, you love the aggressiveness. Chris not drifting around on the outside. He's getting it done in the painted area.
And 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot. And there's the foul against Phoenix. Doris is a former guard. You know how much energy it takes to run a team and think a game as well as score. I mean, there's a lot on your plate at that position. But backcourt guys get an advantage of playing with a consistently high motor.
Well, Russell Westbrook, in addition to his ferocity, seems to be able to sustain his level of energy across a 48-minute game. I feel like the guy never gets a rest, so he's one high motor guy. I'll tell you a guy who doesn't do it the same way, but still it's required that he has a level of endurance that maybe would shock people, is James Harden. Like, the guy has the basketball in his hands. He's #1 priority in terms of the defensive scout. So Russell Westbrook and James Harden, though they go about the job differently, both are phenomenal at having a great endurance and having the ball so much.
Bledsoe outside. They double-team Bledsoe from past the arc. Another 3 for Phoenix.
And they're getting their points now almost exclusively from the triple. 4 of their last 5 makes are from beyond the arc.
Here's Patterson. Rebound by the Suns. And here's Phoenix. They're on a 14-6 run. Dudley dishes to Len. Here's Bledsoe. The shot will not fall. Now Oklahoma City takes it the other way.
Boy, the way he's been going, he is not going to be the guy to turn this around.
And a good example there of why it's important to change ends quickly.
Well, that's how you attack in transition. Remarkable effort, getting as high percentage a look as you can really get.
And the Suns call time. Greg, the one thing about Patrick Patterson out of Kentucky, he is a smart basketball player.
Yeah, he's not the best rebounder or shot blocker, but the advanced stats love him, and he gets the job done at both ends of the floor.
Tyson Chandler, who's checked in for Phoenix. Ulis comes in for Eric Bledsoe. And Oklahoma City also making a switch. Grant, he's checked in for Paul George. Chandler, a screen. Got a piece of it. Grant up top. He's guarded by Dudley.
Well, how about the opportunistic Jeremy Grant taking it strong on the drive? Love it.
Oklahoma City comes into this one after the win against New Orleans. And Jeremy Grant picks up the foul. That's his first foul. Right side, Knight. Here's the 3. And there's the call on Chandler. That's foul number 2 for him. The Thunder shooting 71% all in all in this one. They've been brilliant offensively. That one good for 2.
Yeah, 3 consecutive field goals have come right at the rim. The D had better start buckling down.
Len, a screen. Knocked loose. Here's Kristen. Here's Grant. Tyson Chandler grabs the board. Suns have gone 7 of 15 from the field here in the third quarter. Knight kicks to Ulis. Chandler outside. Back to Len. Good ball movement here by the Suns. Sinks the triple.
And since halftime, they have been locked and loaded from beyond.
Yeah, there's no question about it. Knocking down triples repeatedly, the defense starting to look helpless at this point.
And he just punishes the D for falling asleep at the wheel.
Yeah, a little disorganized that time, and the result, 2 points in the loudest way possible.
Yeah, sometimes aggression can overcome certain offensive limitations. You saw it right there.
Patterson passes to Adams. It's hauled in by the Suns. Chandler's got 3 rebounds now in this one, and they pick up 2.
Nicely done. They continue to attack inside, and that's 10 points in a row in the paint.
Adams brings the double team. Now the pass to Kristen, and the officials signal the backcourt violation. Not very careful there.
Turnovers weren't a story for them early on, but that's changed. And now they're definitely having trouble keeping possession and momentum.
Warren's checked in for the Suns. Devin Booker comes in for Brandon Knight. Anthony's checked in for the Thunder. Roberson comes in for Alex Abrinas. And Kristen kicks to Anthony. Chandler with the steal. The 3 from Warren, and that comes off the assist by Ulis. Ulis has got his 3rd assist on the night. Anthony left side. Shoots over Warren, and some very quick points for him on that possession. And that's 20 points for Carmelo Anthony.
Just so fluid on all his shots. No hesitation from Melo on the catch and shoot.
Chandler is screen. Off the screen. That one wide left.
And that's really a function of the offense not working as it should.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's not how you capitalize on the offensive end. You simply have to be more patient.
Now Ulis. Anthony on the double team. Ulis kicks to Booker. Another shot. Back to Ulis. Warren on the wing. Booker outside. And the 3 ball is good. Booker's got 11 points.
12 straight points off of 3-pointers, and the D looks shell-shocked.
Shots good by Anthony.
When Melo's rolling, you can put 2, 3 hands up and contest, and it won't matter. He's just that good.
5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock, and it's Warren with the jam.
Oh, Kev, he put some anger behind that one.
You're telling me. And it's Anthony with the jam.
Incredibly reliable as a scorer. He's always looking for ways to help the team succeed. It's happening again tonight.
Got a piece of it. Dudley dishes to Ulis. Pass to Booker. There's the 3. And that comes off the assist by Ulis. 14 points for Devin Booker.
Another one. Man, he's just gotten into a great rhythm out there.
You're just assuming at this point every shot he takes, it's going to go in. What a shooting performance.
Well, we thought the 3rd quarter was over, but it turns out the officials are going to review the play to see if he released the ball before the buzzer.
And the NBA Replay Center in Secaucus is queuing it up, and even before we look at the replay, I'm pretty sure he got that off in time.
And the call is going to be overturned. The second look shows that he did, in fact, beat the clock.
Yeah, they're glad they're going to get those points. It wasn't too long ago that they wouldn't even have looked at it on the monitor, but replay's here, and it's here to stay for situations just like that one.
And so it's the Oklahoma City Thunder with a 34-point advantage heading into the break. From the field, they have been outstanding, amazing shooting. That's what has them headed to a blowout. We come back right after this. And we welcome you back as we get going here in the 4th quarter. The final quarter of play can change everything. And so here is Oklahoma City. So for Oklahoma City right now, they've got Grant. Felton is out there with Krista. Then there's Nick Collison, and it's Eustis in at the 4-man position. It's going to be out of bounds. The Suns will retain possession. And here is Ulis. Williams kicks to Ulis. Ball's knocked loose. It's taken away by Collison. Unloads from 13. Again, Oklahoma City.
And when you can outscore your opponent in transition, that's always going to work to your advantage.
Well, typically speaking, transition points are high percentage looks. Get out and go, that's their philosophy.
Sun shooting 53% from the floor. They're locked in. Ulis passes to Williams. Back to Ulis. Tries a three. It's not going to go for him. And the Thunder going the other way now. Collison dishes to Felton. Shoots over Ulis. Almost, but it rolls out. And turnovers have been the issue for him.
You can see the coaches have gotten into him a little bit about this. They've got to do a better job of taking care of the ball.
Daniels kicks to Williams. Now, here's Ulis. He's guarded close. Good work there as it goes. The Thunder have gone 2 of 3 from the field to get the fourth quarter started. Here's Grant, and the dunk by Grant.
Terrific focus from Jeremy Grant. This guy understands how to take contact and fight through it.
About a minute and a half through the fourth quarter now. Now, here's Ulis. Here's Williams. And that comes off the assist by Ulis. Ulis has got his 6th assist on the night.
Well, I'll tell you, it takes a lot of confidence to go with the floater. That is not as easy as it looks. Maybe not that time, but he'll hit more than his share if he's left open.
They get a hand on it. Grant the pass to Eustis. 16 feet away, and that one's good, Kristen.
And just enough wiggle room to get off his shot.
Oh, I'll tell you, that's good basketball. You have to get a little creative against the big man, but I love his initiative.
Of course, not too long ago, changes were made to the intentional foul rule. In your observation, has this made a positive difference?
Well, I certainly love that the away from the play fouls were extended to include the last 2 minutes of each period. I don't think you should necessarily give an advantage to a team that is playing from behind by intentionally fouling a poor free throw shooter. So that's one. I do believe now the bigger issue in the NBA has become the shooting fouls where the shooter is launching himself into a defender. I think that the NBA will take a hard look at that and make any necessary change, Kev.
Totally agree, Doris, and I don't want to pinpoint one player, but James Harden has made that an art form.
That's correct.
For Phoenix, they've gone 3 of 4 on field goal attempts since getting things started here in the fourth. It's taken away by Collison. Grant against Jones. Got that bucket in no time at all. Grant's got 4 points now in the quarter.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
Dishes to Dudley. Nice ball movement by Phoenix. Feeds to Bledsoe. Jacks up a 3. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City.
And you don't want to give up that kind of look too often.
Here's Eustis, and it is flushed down with a nice jam.
And doing some dirty work on the offensive glass.
And then follows it up, Greg, with heavy-duty jam on his mind with a terrific putback. Doubled by Felton. Tipped away. Dudley with it. Now Felton defending. They set the screen. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Phoenix, no good that time either.
Affecting the shot in a big way there. Excellent defense.
Well, you talk about getting into the space of the shooter. This is how you defend the paint.
And that fella can flat out fly, can he?
Reminds me of a young Greg Anthony out of UNLV.
Goodness.
No doubt about that. Just look at the elevation he climbed to right there.
Kevin, you just made my knees hurt.
It is the truth, though. His vertical is a huge part of what makes him tough to defend at the basket.
Dudley, no luck. For Oklahoma City, they've gone 8 of 11 from the field in the final period. Great shooting down the stretch. Goes back up. And the lay-in good by Collison.
Just giving up way too many transition opportunities.
Phoenix has gone 0 of 3 so far in the fourth quarter from long range. Bledsoe kicks to Williams. Good, and Bledsoe gets the assist. Bledsoe's got his 9th assist in the game now.
The defense getting a little lazy there. You can't give him those shots. He'll make you pay every time.
It's good. For Phoenix, they've gone 4 of 8 in this fourth quarter, shooting an even 50% from the field. Outside, Jones from outside the arc. Good on the three-point shot.
Smart decision there by Bledsoe. Paying attention to the defensive alignment, making the right pass. That's how it's done, gentlemen. You don't pass to a player, you pass to a spot. Let your teammate run into it.
For Phoenix, they've gone 5 for 9 from the field in the final quarter so far. Doris, the league would prefer that players stay in college a minimum of 2 years before entering the draft. Others have countered with straight out of high school in that approach. Which way do you lean?
I would say I would lean to allow these young men, if they're prepared and have the talent and ability to go straight from high school to the league, they should have that opportunity. We don't put restrictions on any other field of endeavor. If you're a great musician, you can go to New York City and make a living in an orchestra on Broadway. To me, if you're capable, you should be allowed the opportunity. This is America. We are a land of opportunity.
Here's Knight trying to get open his land, and it's denied.
Well, persistent defense on the part of Patrick Patterson. This guy anticipates the shot and says, no, sir.
They get it back, and he battles for the ball and gets the second chance bucket.
Ripping and running. They have a big advantage now in those transition opportunities.
Doris, it's been said that you started playing basketball in the 2nd grade. How did your love of this sport become so evident so early?
Yeah, you know, I moved to the Jersey Shore when I was 7 years old. There was a park right next door. And, you know, I'm the last of 8 kids. My family didn't have a ton of money, but boy, all I needed was a rim and a basketball, and I could spend 6, 7, 8 hours. My mother used to call me back in from the park to have lunch or dinner. I just spent my entire childhood on the hard court next door dribbling away.
Were you naturally good at it, or did you feel like you had to work at it, or did you just feel like I got a knack for this?
No, I think, you know, obviously when you play the game from 7 years old, you pick up on a lot of the nuance, and as in anything, you have to work hard at something to be good at it. And it didn't feel like work because I love basketball.
It shows even now. Collison. Here's Patterson. A strong finish under heavy pressure all over.
Well, you have to get something out of that possession, and thanks to Patterson's work on the glass, heads-up play to score that.
Poked away. Out of bounds. Phoenix takes possession. Phoenix making some changes. Jared Dudley's checked in for Jones, and Eula subbed in for Daniels. And a switcher also for Oklahoma City. Eustace is checked in. Plan a screen. The 3 from Dudley. Eustace grabs the board. Eustace has got his 3rd rebound on the night. Here's Patterson. Rebound by the Suns. Land's got his 3rd rebound on the night.
And as we head to the final buzzer here, a crushing blowout, big-time dominance, and this will go in the record books as a gaudy win for the Thunder.
It was a standout performance across the board.
I mean, it was like watching a cat play with a mouse. They were able to do more or less whatever they wanted.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year.
And against a conference opponent, always good to take that first win of the season series to establish a psychological edge.
And what a tremendous standout performance it was for Russell Westbrook.
Boy, with all the work he did at the offensive end, it seemed to me to take a toll on the defenders. They could neither match his energy nor his intensity.
And guys, you got to ask, where was this effort when it mattered? The game's over now.
Right. Frustrating for sure, Greg. I don't think they'll be able to mount a comeback at this point.
I'll tell you, when you're the visiting team, it can be hard to maintain focus, but not tonight.
No, I think that they've been locked in during this game. They didn't let the opposing crowd get to them at all. This has been pure domination.
And it's good, 2 points.
And that's a killer instinct on display as they try to put this one on ice.
I think that's exactly the mentality you have to have. You don't want to give this team any hope of coming back.
Len's shot is off.
He definitely got nervous at the rim. I mean, he needs to make sure he finishes strong.
Grant, that's good.
Well, this is why Jeremy Grant's size is important. Stretches out beautifully whenever he's close to the rack.
And now they decide to foul intentionally.
Yeah, not sure what that was about. I mean, talk about a brain cramp.
Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City. Guys, what do you think?
You know, this is a timeout maybe just so they can pat each other on the back because no other reason to call it.
I think it's an opportunity just for the coach to see some execution. Finish this thing out the right way.
Chance now to recognize our Jordan Player of the Game, Russell Westbrook.
And guys, no doubt who our pick was going to be. He's made everyone else on the court look like they're playing at half speed. It's been total domination, and you can't help but just sit back and admire that performance.
And as the star of this team, he knows he's going to be the object of the crowd's anger. And taking care of the ball has been a problem for him.
That's something they've got to fix. While the defense has been good, a lot of these turnovers have been unforced.
Here's Knight, so the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
Boy, for a young guy who's played his heart out everywhere he's gone, Knight's already been traded a number of times. Surprising.
Good on both. 11 seconds left to play here in the fourth. Here's Patterson, and there's the big-time jam as he slams it right over Len.
Well, you take all doubt out of the equation. Patterson throws it down with force.
So no problem for Oklahoma City as they get the win. This one was over well before the final buzzer. The fans were waiting for something to get excited about, Greg, but they never got it.
They sure didn't. I mean, they just rolled to this win. They made it look really easy. What an efficient performance at both ends.
It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thank you, Kevin. Russell, obviously you're doing a lot out there. Are there things that you even say, hey, I can do more?
I don't know, but I'm just blessed and happy to be on the floor with my teammates, having fun while doing it and just try to rack up some wins. We got to lean on each other, man, and come out every night and play Thunder basketball. So that's what we got to do.
Well, it got done tonight, Russell. Thank you. Kevin, back to you.
All right, David, thank you. That concludes the first game of the NBA season. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for tuning in. So long.